Who is the sentinel of the vast coastlines and island territories of our nation? Who secures the seas so that our lives thrive and succeed on land? Who watches over the deep blue to ensure a peaceful sleep for 1.25 billion Indians? It is none other than the Indian Navy. Now, let's give a homage to Mother Sea.
कदम कदम बढ़ाए जा खुशी के गीत गाए जा ये जिंदगी है कौम की तो कौम पे लुटाए जा कदम कदम बढ़ाए जा खुशी के गीत गाए जा ये जिंदगी है कौम की तो कौम पे लुटाए जा
This is Afrak Mohammed, and you're listening to Chris Vibes powered by English Department of Christ Nagar School. December 4th is celebrated as the Navy Day. The Navy Day is celebrated to remember and recognize the courageous attack on the Karachi border during the Indo-Pakistan War of 1971. The Indian Navy is the mighty manifestation of India's maritime power. It is because of the brilliant history the Indian Navy has to tell us. So now, let's have a glimpse on the history of Indian Navy presented by Sai Vignesh.
The great subcontinent of India, through the history, was always insecure to the incoming threats. With a massive landform touching the coastline, made the kings and the rulers of then India to sustain themselves with a defense force in the waterfronts. One such force which embarked the beginning of Indian Navy is from our own land, Kerala. Kunyali Marekka's naval command has inspired thousands of sailors. The Indian Navy traces back its origin to the East India Company's marine, which was founded in the year 1612 in order to protect British merchant shipping in the region. In 1793, British East India Company had established their rule over the eastern part of the Indian subcontinent, that is Bengal. But it was not until 1830 that the colonial navy was titled as His Majesty's Indian Navy. When India became a republic in 1950, the Royal Indian Navy, as it had been named since 1934, was renamed to Indian Navy. The Indian Navy's first aircraft carrier was commissioned as INS Vikrant on 4th of March 1963 in Belfast by Vijayalakshmi Pandit, the Indian High Commissioner to the United Kingdom. Vikrant is derived from the Sanskrit word Vikranta, which means bold or courageous. INS Amba, also known as AN-54, was the only submarine tender ship in service of Indian Navy. It was commissioned on 28th of December 1968. Since then, the Navy of India is taking part in nation warfare, nuclear deterrence, sea lift and force projection. Jai Hind.
Hello everyone, here we are to introduce you to two heroes of the Indian Navy. Many of us remember watching an awful moment on our screens, the Indian tricolor fluttering cheerfully and the solitary sailor standing nearby, saluting as the sea raged in the backdrop. This was the impact of a sailor from Cape Town, which is at the tip of South America, where winds get particularly fierce and waves rise as high as 100 feet. So, Cape Town is a place where you don't sail to alone, but to be proud. A person from Kerala and also the former Lieutenant Commander of the Indian Navy, Sir Ablash Tommy, did exactly that. This exuberant occasion had happened on 26 January 2013, which, as we all know, was the 65th Republic Day of India. By this great achievement, Sir Abdullah became the first Indian to circumnavigate the globe and assisted solo and non-stop. So here we have Surya with us to introduce you an operation carried out by Captain Sumant Verma.
Many of them might know about today's importance. Today is Navy Day. You all will be wondering, why do we celebrate this, right? They protect our nation's maritime borders from foreign attack or resist. So in order to recognize their achievements or their role in our country, we celebrate Navy Day on December 4th. At this moment, I wish to tell a story of an Indian Navy officer, Captain Sumant Verma. We know at sea is not easy as we think. Rough weather, months of separation from family and friends. Sumant Verma was a person who loved to travel. This love for travel made him to join the Indian Navy as a cadet in 1983. On 13 May 2017, the two main seaports in Bangladesh, Chittagong and Mongla, suspended all the operations and closed the ports due to a powerful tropical cyclone. Knowing this warning, MV Dubai Knight, the ship with 25 crew members, including Captain Verma, sailed 200 miles away from the route of cyclone. There were fishermen at sea who were unaware of this danger. They had already sailed a few days ago. Next day morning at 7:30 am, many people were waiting out to catch attention of the watchkeepers in the passing ship. Captain Sumant Verma reacted immediately, ordering the ship to be turned around and ran the DPA. With God's grace and very efficient crew and officers, all 6 survivors were picked up. The fishermen's boat were wrecked on 29th morning, and it was actually a group of 10. They had been floating on fishing buoys for 3 days without food and water. First aid and dry clothes were given to them. There were no major injuries. They sported a 7 large group of people, seemed like more than 16 people, and each other waving their arms. Captain Verma commented another rescue operation, but this time the weather was nearly rough. But Captain Verma and his team held their nerve during the operation. At first, due to huge waves, they could only pull up one person. Slowly, over a physically and mentally exhausting 90 minutes, a total of 16 fishermen were pulled up on deck. All the 22 survivors were left on a Navy-appointed boat. Life puts us in situations that test our integrity. This was one of those times. His story is beyond doubt inspiring. So let's salute their sacrifices and selflessness and defend our nation. We can see a lot more like him. So let's give them a big salute. Thank you.
What does the Indian Navy actually do? The primary objective of the Indian Navy is to safeguard the nation and its maritime border and conjunction with other armed forces of the Union, acts to deter or defeat any threats or aggression against the territory, people or maritime interests of India, both in war and peace. This is the main and the primary objective of the Indian Navy. So the Indian Navy is the naval branch of the Indian Armed Forces. The President of India is the Supreme Commander of the Indian Navy. It's also known as the INS. INS stands for Indian Navy Ship, and Indian Navy Force was first established in India at the time of British Empire. So now I'll take you through the introduction of officers the various branch of Indian Navy is undertaken through. One of the following modes are Union Public Service Commission (UPSC). So this mode provides the following schemes, which are Combined Defence Service Examination, which is a CDSC, and then the National Defence Academy, which is the Navy, and NCC. So now let's take a look at the second mode, which is the Direct Entry Permanent Commission for Undergraduate Level Entry, and the qualifications required are 10th grade or +2 or BTech. Now let's take a look at mode 3, Direct Entry Permanent Commission for Graduate Level Entries. So the following schemes required are: you could be from a field of sports, musician or law. So now let's take a look at the examinations, entrance examinations, which you have to go through to get a job at the Indian Navy. Examinations are NDA. This examination only occurs once in a year, and it's at the month of September. Then there's the Combined Defense Service Examination, which is a CDSE. This examination can be returned twice in a year, which is at the month of February and November. And then there is the Cadet Entry Examination, which I talked about earlier, for the 10th grade, plus 2, or the BTech. This examination also occurs twice a year at the month of February and April. Then there's the Indian Navy Entrance Test, INET. This examination also occurs only once in a year, like the NDA. And there's the AA Entry Examination. This examination occurs twice a year at the month of April and October. At last, there's the SSR Entry Examination. This examination occurs twice a year, like the others, April and October.
पूरब में सूरज के सीने की धड़कन ये कहती है बढ़ने की जिद तेरी नींदों में रातों में ख्वाबों में रहती है तेरी ज़मीं है तेरा आसमां तेरा है सागर तेरा ये जहां तुझसे मुनासिब मेरे ख्वाबों का आशियां मेरी ताकत तू ही पासबां तेरे में तेरे चला कारवां तुझसे है रोशन मेरा नीला सा आसमां है तेरी जीत है तेरा रौब है विजय तेरी जब भी रण है तू बढ़ आगे तुझे डर किसका तेरे साथ में डरता बचपन है दीवार नहीं चट्टान